So have your feet flat on the floor. I'll adjust my microphone. There we go. And really feel the weight of the feet on the floor connecting with the ground. You know, even though you're in maybe you're in an apartment more than one story off the ground, or if you're in a top story of a house, just imagine you're connecting your feet with the earth. Feel the sensations of the bottom of the feet. Have your knees about, your hips width apart if that's how you're sitting. And if you're sitting in a cross-legged position, you can, just put a couple of cushions underneath your knees just to support you. Also, if you're sitting in that position, it's really good to have something, even if it's just a folded blanket underneath your coccyx, just lifting your sits bones up a little bit. And this helps to keep the spine straight. So now imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Trying to put some space in between those vertebrae. Just lengthen the spine. Imagine you have a string of pearls of light and someone's really very gently pulling and just very gently lengthening. And then see if you can align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And a little bit of length in the back of the neck. So your chin is slightly tipped forward, but it's not down by your chest. And then just be aware not to have your chin lifting up too high. And that does, I understand, create a little bit of agitation in the mind. And it makes sense because if your neck is cricked back like this, stopping the blood flow somehow. So just a little bit of length, particularly at the base of the spine, at the base of the occipital bone. So you can have your hands just very, just relaxed in your lap, either in the meditation mudra, traditional meditation mudra in our tradition, or just resting where it is comfortable. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp. Maybe you can feel some sensation there or not. Relax the forehead and the eyes and the nose and the cheeks, the area around the mouth and the back of the tongue. Relax the jaw and the back of the head, the back of the neck. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades just to drop. Relax. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. It's a little cooler as you breathe in, slightly warmer as you exhale through your nostrils. And be aware of sounds in your environment. Just allow the sounds to be there. And then just check in with yourself. How are you going today? Some of you, for Shrey, it's early morning. There's people here from Australia. It's the middle of the day. And then we have people here, if it's very much at the end of their day, in fact, it's getting close to midnight. So wherever you are in your day, just see what's going on with your mind. Maybe try and put some space in between the thoughts. And take a step back and look at what's going on with some form of objectivity. So, in the same way, if you were a scientist, you just look with curiosity, with a completely neutral mind, no opinions. Just like, oh yeah, that's da 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 da. So maybe you can identify this thinking as, maybe you can see there's some planning there, or some future tripping, or maybe there's some rumination. Maybe you are thinking about something in the future and you don't know if it's even going to happen. And you might notice perhaps you're getting agitated about something that you don't know whether it's even going to happen. Those ones are always really good to check. So if you see something like that, you can imagine as you exhale, just think of the word release. Or you can imagine you just put those pile of words or thoughts, images on a little cloud maybe, and just allow it to float away. And then bring to mind some people of our life. We could start with the ones we love. Bring them to your mind. See their face, their smile, their eyes. And the love that you have, the relationship that you have, the kindness that's there between you. And then, you move on to the ones you don't like so much, and you don't have that level of connection. There's a different kind of connection. And then you have strangers with whom you just kind of like ships in the night. No interest whatsoever. They're just in and out of your life in a matter of seconds. And due to impermanence, these relationships are interchangeable. So things are changing all the time. That's most notable with the seasons and the changing of the light. Nothing is staying the same. We think the earth we're standing on is solid and still. It's definitely not. It's also moving, expanding, contracting. And these people can change place. As I said, their relationships are interchangeable. And just like you and me, all of these people want to be happy. They want to be free from suffering. And everybody has this extraordinary capacity for Buddha mind, enlightened mind, creative mind, wise mind. So I think we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And if you have a particular group that you are thinking about right now, this morning and last night, we were thinking about people in war zones, people who are suffering from various diseases without any particular help. In the Congo right now, I think there's a kind of a strange disease. I don't know if it's monkeypox, something. Anyway, there's something over there that they're not really able to get on top of. People are getting very sick. So imagine how frightening it would be to be living somewhere where there is disease. We had a taste of it at the beginning of the pandemic. We didn't know what on earth it was, how it was being transmitted. We just knew we had to stay away from people, otherwise we were going to get sick. And we didn't know how sick. So imagine you live in a society where there's this kind of disease spreading, but you've got no protection. So maybe think of all these people as well. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we have these 4 opponent powers, and the first of them is this power of regret. So we start by sincerely regretting from the depths of our hearts anything we have done to harm any living being in this life and in any of our past lives. So you can think of something specific with the body and the speech. And we're regretting based on this logic of karma, because everything we experience is the result of an action done at some point. So we don't want any more suffering. So it makes sense, like a weed, to pull out these negative seeds before they ripen. And then we think, okay, so what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we rely upon the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, Vajrasattva, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine this image of Buddha, Vajrasattva, above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light. And he's sitting in the regular meditation posture. He's a beautiful, radiant face. And he's looking at you and all sentient beings equally, without judgment, accepting you exactly as you are, turning up this evening, this morning, this afternoon. So he's holding a Vajra bell. These arms are crossed at his heart. And this represents, symbolizes the two of these: enlightenment, infinite wisdom, and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this section on compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think of someone who may have harmed you and have compassion for them particularly, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. And how now we have this power of the remedy. So the remedy is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we do visualization and mantra here. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe and Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta me boa sabasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is this purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you're walking into a room, it's dark, and then you just flick on the switch and the light instantly comes. So imagine the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all our depression and anxiety and attachment and grudges and neediness and wanting things and anger and violence, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, this wishing to harm, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and this fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Just washes it all away. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita Miboa, Sitokaya Miboa, Sipokaya Miboa, Anarakta Miboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me, Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawatata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Humpe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Miboa, Sitokaya Miboa, Sipokaya Miboa, Anarakta Miboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me, Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Humpe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Humpe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Humpe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Humpe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. Really a crucial one, because here is where you make a decision to refrain from harming. So first you rejoice in your efforts coming along all these different time zones we have here. So for some of us, it's more comfortable than others. And just, I thank you. And in your mind, thank each other, and then just rejoice in your own efforts. And then think of something you'd like to work on between just over the weekend. Keep it simple. Something to do with your body, your speech, your mind. And then think Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. It's kind of to seal the practice. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can think that maybe the way things are appearing to you right now might not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings. And think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And we'll do 3 verses. We are a little over. Protector reigning over all 10 grounds, residing steadily on all 10 grounds, made pure in nature by the tenfold knowledge, maintaining purity through tenfold knowledge, with tenfold forms intent on tenfold content, with tenfold strength, pervasive Lord of sages, achieving every aim for every being, endowed with tenfold mastery supreme, beginningless complexity devoid, by nature pure reality in essence, unwavering speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned. Okay, everybody, let's just dedicate the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of you who have your own personal teachers and the reincarnations of those personal teachers. Just make a strong wish for them to live long. Okay, everybody. Amy, we won't see you for a week. Thank you for letting me know, and have a wonderful training.